Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another episode of MTG Sin Senpai. So we are back again with some Lorwyn Eclipsed collector booster boxes, courtesy of Dragon's Lair Houston North. Once again, we are opening the product for the store, and these singles will be on sale on this coming Friday. So if you guys come on by, or if you're in the area, stop on by, take a look. If there's anything that you see that you're definitely wanting to pick up, make sure you're there first, and they will definitely cut you guys a deal. So, I know it's been some time. It's been a hot minute. This will be our first pre-release in a non-Universes Beyond set for in about 6 months, 4 months, 4.5 months, 6 months. I haven't done the exact math, but sets are coming out like crazy. And there's a lot of hype for this particular one. It's our first time back to Lorwyn since Lorwyn and Shadowmoor. And I do got to say, I'm just excited to be back at the Lorwyn set. Funny enough, Lorwyn was one of the sets that I got back into Magic, and I started really playing Limited more. And I'll still never forget the first time I played in Lorwyn. This was back when they had they introduced Changelings, and I did not know how to draft, layman's terms. And essentially what happened was I just threw a deck together, and I really didn't know what I was doing, but I gave it a shot, and I'll never forget, I turn 1 played a 1-drop, turn 2 played a 2-drop, turn 3 played a 3-drop, and just rolled my opponent game 1, and then every game after that I just lost. It was, I'll never forget it though. It was a lot of fun though, and this set, if I remember correctly, when Lorwyn first came out, that's when they first introduced Planeswalkers, and so there's just a lot of memories when it comes to the Lorwyn set itself, and then there's a lot of fun throwbacks, be it to the Marilyn, she's an enchantment now in this particular set, and then there's just so many fun cards in the set, and then what was it? Bitter Blossom, that the birth of Bitter Blossom was from this particular set. There's just a lot of fun things in Lorwyn Eclipsed, and just Lorwyn itself, and it's a big Typal set. I'm a big Typal deck fan. I still have my Elf Ball deck, I have a Goblin deck, I have Rogues, I built Slimes, I built Elementals, I built Dragons, I built Eldrazi. It's just, Typals is a lot of fun, and this set's got to have, I mean, it's the Typal set, and it's a lot of fun, and then they brought back Kithkin, which are essentially halfling, but Kithkin. But they're new Kithkins. But that, I'm sure you guys are not here to listen to me yap the entire time. We are here to open some Magic product, take a look and see what we got. And I know, myself personally, I say this time and time again, I do my best to not look at spoilers. So I will just kind of go through the cards as I go, going through the commons, uncommons, looking at the lands, because the lands are beautiful, and of course we'll take our time with the rares. But essentially, I've been making it a point to, whenever it comes to a new set, I'll do my best not to spoil myself, not to look too much into cards, not to read too much into them ahead of time. Reason being, I like to actually play with the cards whenever they first come out, because there's so much speculation and so much discussion that you could talk about cards before actually playing with them, and then when you actually get to play with them, that's when you actually see the things that they can do. Like, these cards, I will say, look amazing. And then we got ourselves an art card. But I do make it a point to try and not look at ahead of time at spoilers. But as a judge, it does make it a little difficult. But what I do is I do make it a point to stay on top of the new mechanics. And speaking of new mechanics, this particular set actually doesn't really have any new mechanics. They only have really one new mechanic. And then they named an older mechanic. So the new mechanic being Blight, which is a very interesting mechanic for sure. And then also the fact that they named, there's a one that they call it Vivid now, where it matters the color of your permanents. And I'm sure I'm going to say this multiple times over the night and all night during the pre-release, but lands are colorless permanents. They do not have a color, unless there's something that's causing them to have a color. But naturally, unless there's an enchantment or some kind of effect that does it, lands are colorless. So keeping that in mind. And I paused on this one because this is one of the cards I did see. This was one of the ones, unfortunately, I did get spoiled for me, but I'm a big fan of big, dumb artifacts like this. Examples like, what was it, Chroma's Memorial, and Eldrazi Temple, And then the one that this one's called like one more of, it's Vanquisher's Banner. I love big dumb artifacts like that, so this is definitely one of my favorite ones from the set. Definitely something I probably will actually pick up just because I want to get as many copies of it as I can, just because I like my typo decks. And so it definitely helps to have more than one typo card. And wow, that is gorgeous. I don't know what this card is. There's a token, but I just got to take a pause and look at that. I do believe this is, yep, that's a, looks like Japanese artist. So I'm pretty sure this is one of the bigger hits, which is, this is super cool looking. I think the first pack didn't have a single mythic, but this particular one had two. That's just really, whew, I don't know what the cards costs and prices look like at the moment. I do know that in this particular set they do come with serialized cards. It does say so on the box, but man, that just looks gorgeous. But yeah, I'm speechless. But I'm just big fan of the set, big fan of Lorwyn, big fan of the lore. I'm glad that we're going back to a set that's not UB. Now, mind you, at this point, I'm on the camp that I'm just accept the fact that UB is what it is. But this is a nice breath of fresh air in comparison to the other sets. It's nice to see that we're back into a Lorwyn set. Ooh, that's actually pretty cool. Figure of Fable. Reminds me of Figure of Destiny. And yeah, the little art of this set is just amazing to me. Ooh, that's a 1,000-year elixir. I have a feeling, just because this is in that borderless treatment, this has got to be worth something, because I remember 1,000-year elixir is one of the key pieces in Elf Ball, and just a lot of things that, oh man, this card just looks amazing. That's just gorgeous. And that's it's good to see that you can get a borderless foil alternate art, I guess. I'm awful when it comes to names of treatments and stuff at this particular point. There's so many different variants, and especially when you have your opening collector packs, there's just so much going on. But I know that's got to be worth something. And then the art on the lands, man, these just look gorgeous. Ooh, I feel like this guy is going to be a lot of fun to play, especially with that one mana 7/7 and goofy stuff like that. Abundant Countryside. Let's see. Adept Water Shaper. Man, these cards just look amazing. And then look, there's another Maryland, the Fey Ascendant. That's pretty cool. God, the art on this set is just great. Ooh, that's a pretty cool looking goblin token. It doesn't look like a goblin to me. It looks more like a boar. Kind of reminds me of the boar from wow. Not Spirited Away. Princess Mononoke. Man, I know my Ghibli movies. I just, the name eluded me for a second there. But let me know if you guys are a fan of the Lorwyn mythos. If you guys even know what the mythos is with this particular set. If I remember correctly, with this plane, it was a day and night cycle that was constantly in flux. Wow, that's a cool looking, I don't even know, uncommon, super, oop. But if I remember correctly from the lore, because it's been a hot minute, but it was the same plane that would have a day and night cycle, and all the characters would have essentially like a day variant and a night variant, depending on which one was active. Man, trying to find the words. But now that if I remember correctly, it was the Great Eclipse or something like that. I could be wrong, but remember that now they're all essentially, it's just one plane that's everything's constantly active. And so it's a very cool set, very cool lore, amazing art, and so far from what I've seen of the cards, I'm super hyped. I'm going to try and build a Kithkin deck of some kind, and probably some kind of elemental deck, just because. Now, is it going to be commander decks? Probably. But I just haven't decided which one I'm going to go with just yet. The goats being a fun thing. Ooh. And that's right, we are getting the finished cycle of the Shocklands, and so all 10 Shocklands are now standard legal. Ooh, we got our first double-sided card here. And not to be overshadowed by the Dawn Hand Dissident. But yeah, the fact that the transforming cards can constantly transform is kind of cool. We'll have to see how those play out. Yeah, I'm super hyped, ready for it to play the set, ready to draft the set. I'm always down to draft a new Magic set. I will still complain about the fact that these things are coming out so quickly, but at the same time, I do get to enjoy brand new sets, getting to play with brand new cards, explaining all the rules to new players and existing players alike. It's always fun for me, man. And I'm just enjoying the art, enjoying the fact that we're getting Evoke Elementals back, get Kid Control Soldiers, Ashling. Ooh, Soul Immolation. I believe this is going to be worth something. I think there's some play with that, maybe. I could be wrong. But yeah, the art, everything looks great. Here's hoping we pull a serialized card for the store. It'll be the first super big hit. I know we've hit some big cards, but I think that would be the first, like, ridiculously large hit we've ever hit for the store. But so far, I mean, everything looks amazing, and I just gotta say thank you to Rob again for allowing me to even do this for the shop. It's always a pleasure, and man, I am just, ooh, that looks very pretty. I think I would get that one over the foil one. And oh, look at that. That is a foil borderless Temple Garden. That's gotta be worth something. And man, that art just looks amazing. And then we got our Kitkin. So I will say, for the tokens, the art for the tokens, they've really stepped up their game, because they used to be, like, old school tokens were very, very basic. There was not much going on. But now the art on these tokens are like, they're starting to get a little insane. I mean, look at that. That looks like art that could be on just a regular card right there, and that's a scarecrow. It's pretty cool. Got our commons and uncommons. Going to just kind of blow through these. I know there's always some kind of upstart common or uncommon. We'll see probably a lot of play. I don't know which ones yet, but we'll see. Got ourselves another Temple Garden in the regular art, not borderless, but it still looks pretty sweet. That is Golden Ver. Oh, it's got to be a Commander land. Yeah, that's Commander. Oh, the Bree of Clan Stout Arm. The throwback to, what was it, Brian Stout Arm? Yeah, it's just fun. I love that. Brigid. Double-sided. Yep. Going to be lots of fun playing this particular set. And of course, having to pay attention to your typals. Definitely got to make sure that you pay attention to what types are on each card, because there's a lot of goofy things that's going on. I mean, another thing you could do, just go not even call the regular creature types like Elf, but you could be, or Kithkin, you can be like, oh, I'm going to build a scout deck, and just have all the scouts and different things like that. And of course, they brought back the shapeshifters, which are always super cool. Ooh, a 2-mana mana dork that's any color. It's actually pretty cool for 0. It's a 0/4. It's not the craziest, but it's not the worst either. Crib swap, nice reprint. And then yeah, the art for all the lands even look amazing. Everything just looks great. And then I know, man, even the alternate arts just look super clean. I don't know all the crazy lore for the new characters, and the fact that they're bringing back a lot of the old ones, but they're like totally different now. That just looks super beautiful. The foiling in this particular one looks really good. Got ourselves our art card here. But yeah. So, for the people that don't know, if you're a fan of the channel, I'm sure you already know at this particular point, but I'll be at every pre-release at Dragon's Lair. There's going to be plenty of them all weekend. It will be the weekend of the 16th, so come on by. I'll be there all weekend. Ooh, nice Springleaf Drum reprint. It looks pretty cool. And then just the fact that some of these uncommons get this like special alternate art treatment, it's actually super cool, but at the same time, it's just like, it throws me off, just kind of like, oh, that's not a rare. Ooh, this, I wants to do goofy things with this. I know there's that, there's already a mono green landfall deck in standard, I believe. I don't know if this will actually help it or not, but I want to try with it just because I love goofy stuff like that. Oh, that looks cool. 2 mana 4/5, like some of these are just ridiculous. And then Wandering Prophecies. Oh, this is a special guest. Oh, that's pretty cool. Yeah, I'm just big fan. Big fan. I mean, I still have a, what was it? I think it's Bogart something. It's like a Gruul Goblin Commander from this particular set from back in the day, back before, that was before Commander even was a thing. And so, yeah, it's just a lot of fun. And then I don't think they reprinted Tarfire. I could be wrong, but it was always fun doing Tarfire just because it was one of those goblins that you can get from the graveyard. Ooh, look at that. Another crazy, the double-sided mythic, and this is I believe this was one of the first cards that was spoiled. Just looks super cool. Kithkin Sentry. Ooh, that's a bloomed, and oh wow, that's gotta be something. I don't know what the name of the treatment is, but look at that. Spine Rock Tyrant in the fractured foil. It's gotta be what that is. That just looks amazing. Initially, I was like distracted by the Bloom Tender, and then I see this thing. I'm like, oh my god, look at that. That just looks gorgeous. The camera does not do it justice. You guys need to stop by the shop, take a look at it in person. I know that will be on sale for sure. This first box was definitely a big hit. I think I could be wrong. Like I said, I don't know. I haven't looked up too much stuff, but that's got to be the highlight of that. Oh, that's definitely the highlight of that box. I mean, it. I don't even know what it's worth. I do my best, like I said, to stay away from spoiler season, and staying away from spoiler season means I don't really get to see like what cards are speculated to be worth money, what the pre-sale costs of things are. Obviously, as soon as I'm done with this video, I'm going to be looking that up, but for the first box, this is definitely a solid way to start the box, so that's pretty cool. We got ourselves another box to go, so here's hoping that we also get, not only do we get like this fractured crazy showcase card, but hopefully we can get a serialized card as well. That would be super cool. I know myself personally, I have pulled at least one serialized card on the channel itself. It was what was it, a Howling Mine, I think, forever and a half ago, but yeah. Sig, return of the Sig character, pretty cool. And then, oh yeah, I believe this guy is, I've seen, as much as I try to avoid spoiler season, I do still catch some things, and I know that there's a lot of talk about that particular goblin just because the things that it can do, and the things that it shuts off. I mean, spells you control can't be countered. It's kind of nuts. For a 2-mana 2/2, it does it kind of puts a hamper on a lot of those any blue X control decks. Always a fan of Evolving Wilds or cards of that nature, so it's nice to see that that's coming back. So far, what I'm seeing of the cards that I'm seeing, it does look like this is going to be a 2-color draft set. Now, mind you, I'm just going through the cards very quickly. I haven't really super read in depth. Oh, Commander card right there. That's the Ashling, the Limitless. But from what I can tell, it looks like a 2-color set. Curious Colossus. Ooh, another crazy looking mythic. That art just looks pretty cool. And oh, that's a Door of Destiny. That just looks gorgeous. I know Door of Destinies hasn't seen too much play, but man, it's one of those cards that, like, when you play it, it does ridiculous things, especially in a typal deck. I mean, every time you cast a spell of a chosen type, give it a counter, and then all the creatures of that chosen type get +1/+1 equal to the number of counters. Yeah, it's kind of nuts. Yep. Oh, that's the flagship art, or that's the art on somewhere. I remember seeing that initially, way before seeing actual cards from the set. Got our lands. Champion of the Klachan? Ah, man, I'm sure I'm brutally, can't even talk. We got Belonging. Grub's Command. It's nice to see that there's a bunch of modal cards, Selfless Safe Right, and that is a Devoted Druid. Okay, I know Devoted Druid is not the craziest expensive card, but the fact that this mythic reprint, I'm sure this particular variant of it is going to be worth a bunch, and that's actually pretty cool looking. I didn't realize Devoted Druid was one of the ones that's getting reprinted, but this was the set that Devoted Druid was originally printed in, so it kind of makes sense. Alright. Commons and uncommons. There's so many at this particular point. Then we got ourselves a new Doran. I like this particular Doran. I think it's a little fun. I've always been a big fan of characters that hit with their butts instead of their regular ways. Ooh, emptiness, right? Is that how? Wow, it's just the way that's like printed on there. It's a little hard to read initially, but that's pretty cool. Got another Ashling. This is the one from the set. This is a Scuzzbox Scrounger. Cool. It's interesting they give you foil variants of the tokens that come in the commander decks. The thing is, I forget. Are the tokens in the commander decks double-sided foils as well? I don't know. It's been a while since I purchased a commander deck just because there's so many of them. It's a little hard to keep up with them. And then I got to a point where like I'd buy some of them, and then I just never opened them or did anything with them. They just kind of were there. Heck, I think I still have all of the Final Fantasy commander decks, and I haven't even played with any of them. I just have them. I have them sleeved up, but I never actually played the decks. So it's like I bought them just because of a collector factor, but man, I just gotta pause and say I love the storybook looking art. It's so cool. Brigade's Command, and this in borderless foil looks super cool. But yeah, I know myself personally, I just stopped buying commander decks just because it's like there's so much material that's constantly coming out, and I'm at the point where like if I want to build a deck, I'm just going to get the cards to build it, because I'm not going to buy a deck based around a specific card and then I have a bunch of extra cards that I just don't use. And I'm at the point where I have so many soul rings and arcane signets from like different decks and drafts and all kinds of things that I just don't need a surplus of them anymore. Unless a commander deck is just like got some ridiculous reprints or something nostalgic or something, maybe like the Final Fantasy. Ooh, we got ourselves another borderless foil temple card, and that's pretty cool, the fact that there's two of them. So hey, if you want to try and get a playset of these, there's two of them at Dragon's Lair Houston North. Go ahead and talk to them and you probably work out a deal and get both of them at the same time. Because I'm sure if you're going to get all four of the same copy foiled out, if you're looking to do that for standard or modern or whatever constructed that's not commander, I mean, it's going to be not super easy to get a playset of that. Got ourselves the 6th Command, Springleaf Parade, Champions of the Perfect. Another Overgrown Tomb. I do love the way this Overgrown Tomb looks. That's just super cool. And ooh, look at that. That is a Meek attack. It's not fractured, but it looks like it would be fractured. So I guess there's the regular one, the alternate art, the fractured art, but not fractured, and then I'm sure they come in the fractured variant. And I'm guessing they probably have. I'm not sure if they did that again this time around, but maybe they did the fractured Japanese thing again, so you can have a fractured Japanese card, which myself personally doesn't bother me too much, just because usually I get to a point where I recognize most cards by the art. But there's a lot of people that they don't know how to read Japanese, so whenever they get the card, they're like, what even is this? I don't know what this does. Ooh, this is the first copy for the store, the Bitter Blossom, or Bitter Bloom Bearer, the new Bitter Blossom on a creature, which is very interesting, super cool. Borderless foil is actually cool as well. And we get our Kin Binding. Man, just look at that art. Just the art of this entire set is just super sick. And so, coming down to our last couple packs. Once again, the store will have these on sale very soon. But in the meantime, if you guys are looking to draft, pick up some product, come on by, say hi, do all the fun stuff. We'll definitely be there all weekend. Mutable Explorer. Another Rain-Sick Shore. Collective Inferno. Tammy. Ooh, look at that. That's the borderless. What's that? Irdu, Carrier of the Dawn. That's the flagship, or that's that crazy thing that they spoiled at the beginning of the season. Or super early, just not in this particular art. But yeah, the treatment on this set's super crazy, super cool. Definitely going to be a lot of fun drafting this particular set. Just because there's going to be so many people that's like, I want to build this type. I want to build this type. It's like, just don't say nothing. See what comes around and build what you need to build. It's going to be an interesting thing to see, because I know there's going to be definitely people fighting for certain things. That's just how it is. I mean, whenever you draft, not everyone can get what they want to get. Ooh, that Blood Crypt looks super cool. Big fan of that art. I might want to get a couple of those myself. Got ourselves an Assling's Command. Alright, 2 more cards to go. Let's see. Hiya. Alright, Feed the Flames. Nice seeing all the goofy changelings coming back. Big fan of those cards. Champion of the Path. Ferrofor. Young Yu, I guess how you pronounce that. Lewin, Imperfect Naturalist. Mutable Explorer. Oh yeah, Senar, Innovative First Year. The fact that we're getting our, we're getting some of the Strixhaven characters ahead of time, it's a little interesting. I think they've explained that these people are able to travel through the Omen paths now, even though they're not planeswalkers, so they're able to, like, travel from one plane to another, but then not through normal means, I think is what the story is. It's been a while since I've really paid attention to the lore, to be honest. It's starting to get a little convoluted, honestly. But I do my best to try and keep up. I guess I could try and read up on it a little bit more, but I'm more about playing these cards. Ooh, look at that. Massive Mysteries. That's pretty cool. Another 5-color elemental. Might put that in my, it's not Mildrotha. Was the 7-color colorless that you pick a creature type, and that creatures cost colorless of that, or not colorless of that, but they cost colored mana less of that. I forget the name of it right now. Well, I'm going to have to look up, I'm going to have to pull that deck aside. But yep, Taste of the Wires is our last one. So, unfortunately, we didn't get any serialized cards, but we did get a Fractured Foil. We got some crazy commons and uncommons. Got some, lots of fun things to look at, lots of shiny things to review. I'm going to be sorting through this stuff now. But, like I said, all these cards that have been opened will be at Dragon's Lair Houston North. Stop on by. I'll be there as well. During the weekend, and if you guys have any questions, have any concerns, ask somebody. But if you guys made it to this point of the video, thank you so much. I do appreciate it. I know I haven't been uploading that often, but if you guys do make it to the end, I do appreciate the fact that you've taken the time of your day, if not to actually sit down and watch, but at least have me in the background listening to my voice or anything like that. It is appreciated. Also appreciate anyone that takes the time to like, comment, subscribe. It's definitely something that I'm trying, and I'm going to keep trying. It may take years, but I'm going to keep doing it until, I guess, until Magic's just stopped making magic. And even then, I might branch off into something else. Who knows? But in the meantime, thank you guys again so much. Appreciate you guys. And never forget, Senpai didn't notice. Good night.